What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlayboyGamer.com. And in the last Dynasty video, we took on Wyoming in the Fort Worth Bowl and ended up winning by 2 on a game-winning field goal. Just a lot of back and forth. It was a pretty wild game. Quite a few turnovers between both teams, but we was able to come out on top, and we ended up with a winning record, 7-6. So you know what this means. We are ready to go into the off-season, which is always a fun time for everybody, and I have not simulated any of the rest of the bowl season yet. We're going to do that now. We're going to simulate all the bowls, and when that's done, we can look at the final scores for those bowls, and then we can move on to the off season and start recruiting, try to make this team better, and I can't wait for it. And it looks like Duke wants to extend our contract, which is fine by me. We're going to stick with them anyway, so we're going to accept the extension. We don't want to advance to the off-season yet. What we want to do is, first of all, let's go back to the bowl week. Can we go to all bowls or just top 25? Looks like we can't. We got multiple bowl weeks. The only thing I really care to see, to be honest, is the last week. And it looks like UTEP is your national champion. Who would have thought that? That's just a weird... And they beat my beloved Vols. Oh, that's pretty wild. That's the first time I've seen any win like that from a non-Power 5 school winning the whole thing. I may have seen it before, but it's very rare in this game. So kudos to the Miners for winning the national championship. Okay, now what I want to do is let's go to coach options and let's look at a couple things. The first thing I want to look at is, actually, let's go to roster instead, and we're going to go to discipline. Program standards, and as you can tell, our bar is fairly low. We still want to keep our points at like around 25%, because you never know what's going to happen next season. We may have a bunch of kids get in trouble, who knows, but we're in a good spot there. Now, the last thing I want to look at before we head into the off season is our roster in general. I got to take some notes. I got to figure out what I need for recruiting. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you, we need everything, because we just need more bodies, better talent across the board. And as you can tell, we got 14 seniors, so we're going to, and we got 70 guys, so that's going to come down to about, what, 56 spots left, and we've already got 4 commitments. So technically, we only need like 12 guys in the offseason, but I'm going to over-recruit a little bit, because look at all this bad weight we have down here. A ton of guys in the 60s, the 50s. We need to replace a bunch of these guys with younger talent that's hopefully better. So look, let's start position by position and see what we need. Now, Schneider, he should be coming back next year, and he'll probably be my starter. And unfortunately, he'll probably stay as an impact guy. He's had such an up and down season that I would like to put somebody else in that's better, but it may be tough. Because behind him, we got Kurt Dukes. He's a 78 speed. We may be able to use some of that next season. Or we got a couple other dual threat guys, 2 true freshmen that can run the ball a little bit. We got a lot of bodies at quarterback, but if I can find one that's better, you better believe I'm going to get it, because, again, we just need good bodies everywhere, and there's a very good chance I may go down every single one of these positions and say we need better players in general. So I'm just going to put a plus sign right there. Otherwise, we got plenty of guys here, but we got a lot of bad ones, especially these 2 down here. Well, not that one, but this 52 guy overall, and Deladon. He's a freshman, but still, it's going to be a tough sale, but we'll see what happens. If we can find one good one, that'd be great. Halfback, we got one senior leaving, and that's Dargan. I felt bad for him. He ended up with over 500 yards rushing on the year, but most often than not, Boyle and Drummer carried the load, or they ended up getting more yards out of the whole thing, and both of them are sophomores. We got one guy redshirting, and we actually have 2 guys redshirting, so we're kind of okay here. But if we can find a stud that's amazing, by all means, I'm going to go after the guy. Fullback. Now, this offense, we use fullbacks quite a bit, whether they're just going to block for us, and maybe we can throw to them over time. So if we can find either a natural fullback that got a little bit of speed to him, that'd be great, or we may end up finding really big halfbacks to put in this position. Now, we got one guy leaving. Ruff was our starter. He's gone. The guy behind him is slower than Moses, so all he can really do is block. And he's so slow, we'll probably end up running around him a whole lot. So if we can find a fullback, that would be great. I'd like to at least find one. And it may end up coming from the halfback pool. So you go back to our halfbacks. Do we have anybody that could be a decent halfback or a fullback? Tim Ball is a good example. He's a true sophomore, but look at his strength. 72, 85 speed, and a 56 catch, which actually is fine by me. So I may end up moving him to fullback next season. So we'll see what happens there. So let's go to wide receiver. This was our weakest unit just in terms of production. Elliott done fine, but he's a senior. He's gone. We got a sophomore, junior, a bunch of other underclassmen. Wide receiver, if I could find one or two that could really produce for us, that would be great. Tight end, we need an extra body or two here. So for tight end, I actually wouldn't mind getting 2 of them. I'd love to have 4 on the roster at all times. We got a lot of formations that's got 2 and 3, so I probably need to do 2 to 3 right here. So I think that's what I'll put there. We need extra bodies, and one of them's gone. That's going to be Roland. Patrick is coming back, but we got nothing behind Patrick. So if we could pick up at least 2 more there, that would be great. And they don't have to be speedy tight ends. I need bodies here. If I can find great speedsters, cool. If I can find good blockers, cool. I just need better players. Tackle, and I need a bunch of them since we do so many 2 tight end sets. 3 tight end technically, and a couple of our formations. Then you go to tackle. We got a lot of bodies here, but our best ones are all upperclassmen. Now, we got one guy that has already committed, which is good. Same with guard. It's kind of a similar situation. He's a junior. He's coming back. Craig is. And we got a freshman there. So for tackle and guard, I'll still do like 1 apiece even though we got bodies. Center is the same way. We need center help in the worst, but we already got 1 committed. So I still may put just like the number 1 there if I can find a better one to go with the new guy. Defensive end. I want to convert some linebackers down if possible. We got a senior and a junior and a senior. So all these 2 guys will be gone. So we definitely need some help here. We redshirted this guy. I'm not going to say his name. It's too hard for that one. But we got another one redshirting. I don't think this guy will ever do much. He'll probably cut by the time it's all said and done. But defensive end, you know me, I would prefer to get linebackers to go down. And if you look at, we'll look at our linebackers here in a minute. Maybe we'll be able to spare somebody. Defensive tackle. We got a junior and a freshman, which is fine. This guy's great. I'm really excited for this kid being 6'6", 325. He's got a good career ahead of him. But we just don't have a whole lot of great talent behind them. So I'd like to at least get 1 more. Outside linebacker Dewin, he's going to be gone next year. So is White. So we're going to have to replace our outside linebackers in a hurry. Now, Paul Thornton, I'm actually excited about this kid. He's only a 68 overall, but he's got 82 speed. His problem is he is not the smartest kid in the world, and that's everybody knows that's going to be like my one sort of house rule for recruiting. I want to find some really smart players because this is Duke after all. But if we can find, I don't know, maybe at least 1 more. Again, I feel like I'm putting down number 1 for everything, for every position. But I want to look at, see if we can find, we don't have, like, so Patrick Bailey may be a good example. We can move the defensive end. 6'4", 230, that's kind of big enough. 76 speed. So he's a very good candidate. I'm going to just go ahead and put his name down. P. Bailey. Very good chance we may move him to defensive end next season. Middle linebacker, we need help here in the worst way. Now, we already got 1 guy committed. I want to at least pick up 2 to 3 more because middle linebacker is the perfect spot to really bring down over to defensive end because these guys are much bigger and they can still have some speed to them. Like Cody Lowe would be a good defensive end for us next season. I don't want him to be our starting middle linebacker. Corner, we got plenty of bodies. We don't have, everybody should be coming back. Tally may go pro, we'll see. But he's a junior, sophomore, so we are actually kind of okay here. But if I can find a stud or 2, by all means, I'm going to get them, especially if they are tall. That's one of our downsides to the corner position. We don't have anybody that is 6 feet or taller. Free safety, we got a senior and we got 1 guy redshirt. That worked out for us. Woodward is going to be our starter next year, but we still need to probably pick up 1 to 2 of these guys. Strong safety, a sophomore and a sophomore, so we're kind of okay there. So I technically don't need to really go after anybody here. So that's the one position where we technically don't need anybody just yet. Kicker, I want to find a better kicker somewhere if I can. I don't think that's going to happen. Only because we got too many bodies as is. But if I can find one, that would be cool. there's a very good chance if I over-recruit, we are going to cut a couple of these guys. We don't need 3 kickers on the roster, especially if all 3 of them are very bad. Punter, we got a senior. He is gone. So we're going to need one. Very good chance we may have a kicker transfer over if we can't find a good enough punter. So we'll see how that goes. Now, I have not done the math here. I'm saying 4, 7, 10, 11, 15. I got like around 20 bodies here that I would like to get. In recruiting, we already got 4 of them committed. So let's go ahead and advance to the offseason. And the first thing we're going to do is go to our school budgets. Now, we need bodies in the worst way, so I'm going to prioritize recruiting, which makes sense. So what we're going to do, first of all, let's trim down discipline. I'm going to go down to 25%. I'll go down to 20 once we get it down next to nothing, but 25 should be okay. The rest of this, I think I may go 25 here, and we're going to just really go all out with recruiting. Again, I'm not a big over-recruiter. I don't like doing that, but we kind of need to in this case since we got so much dead weight on the back end. So we're going to go 50, 25, and 25. And then once we go through that, we're going to look at guys who may be leaving early. I hope that doesn't happen. There's a very good chance we will have, like Tally, maybe want to go pro early. I hope that's not the case. Looks like we got one guy wanting to transfer. So Boyle is wanting to transfer, which I find interesting. That's so weird. I mean, he had 800 yards and 8 touchdowns, yet I guess he felt like he needed the ball more. You could tell he really wants to leave. So I'm not going to even waste any points on the guy. So if he wants to go, then so be it. So at halfback, I'm going to go 1 to 2 on that one. So it looks like Drummer is going to be our main stud. If you remember Drummer, he's the one who transferred from Duke over to Murray State in our Murray State Dynasty. So it looks like Drummer's going to get a whole lot of action next season unless we can find somebody else. So I'm just going to let Boyle, one thing we can try. Let's do it just once. Man, this is a tough decision. You're going to have to give me some time, Coach. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. Sorry, Coach, but I just don't see myself getting much playing time here, even though I gave you the ball quite a bit, but that's okay. All right, so he's the only one that's leaving, which is a good thing. I was kind of worried that Tally was going to leave. So we lost Boyle, so we need to make sure we pick up a decent halfback or two. That would be great. So we're going to go ahead and head into recruiting. And once I'm not going to export draft class. I don't play enough of Madden 06 for this to matter. But we're going to go to continue to recruiting. And I don't know if you noticed earlier, I didn't say anything, but Boyle ended up having like over 1,000 yards of total offense. Yeah, he still wanted to leave. So whatever. If he don't want to be here, then we don't want him here, I guess. So here we are. We are in recruiting now. You look at our pipelines. We got Georgia as a pipeline, Florida, Texas, and that is it. So my goal is to turn pipelines like Virginia into one, Tennessee, South Carolina, pretty much those extra states. That would be my goal. I want to keep it local enough until we win enough games to where we can recruit more nationally. So let's go to interested prospects. That's the first thing. And we got a bunch of 4-stars. So you remember at the beginning of the season, I only kind of went after 3-star kids. I mean, which is fine by me, but I'm going to go after interested guys. You got to remember, we are in the Power 5 conference, so I feel like I'm all good to go going after some of these 4-star guys. But you got to remember, my biggest house rule for this particular dynasty is I want to go after nothing but smart players. So all of these 4-star kids, like all of these defensive players, they may all be dumb as rocks. I want to go after some really smart dudes. So we're going to have to do a lot of scouting to get the true awareness. So we're going to start off with athlete. And here's a kid out of North Carolina. I want to sim him or scout him. And what we're going to do, I may have to do like B+ and higher. I don't know how many A- and higher awareness guys we're going to find. But let's scout this Meade kid, A-. So I would go after him. He's 6'6", 218, 4'7", 8". Is he a defensive end? He's out of Indiana, so we're not going to go after him. So I pretty much wasted my time scouting him. I'm going to look at these 2-star kids. We're going to look at the Florida one. Just a C+. So I may have to reserve a little bit on the awareness thing. We just got to see how many more. So you look at we only got 145 points left. So we're going to use this entire week to do nothing but scouting. So let's go to quarterback. We don't have one guy interested. We may find a week 2, week 3 guy, hopefully. So here we got more halfbacks. This kid out of Illinois, 4-star kid. But just not very smart. So I may be really hurting myself trying to. Let's look at this kid out of Kentucky. A+. Okay, I'd go after this kid. That's close enough. But at least he's an A+ guy. I really want to go after smart guys. Here's a kid out of Minnesota. Another one out of Kentucky, but C-. And we're down to the 2-star kid. So that's kind of iffy. So I can recruit nationally. I don't mind doing that. Don't get me wrong. Say he's a D+. Kid out of Minnesota. He's just not going to be smart. Yeah, it's just not going to work. So what we're going to do is, hey, TJ Brooks, we'll come back to him and put a scholarship on him if we got enough points to use. So we're already down to 115 points. So here's fullbacks. North Carolina and Florida. Neither one of these kids are smart enough. I mean, am I wasting my time? I'm going to have to get rid of this house rule. We can't find anybody that's halfway smart. So I'm going to back out of here. Let's just keep going. Wide receiver. Here's a 3-star kid out of Virginia. I'll probably end up going after him. B may be good enough for me for now. Because right now, we haven't seen too many smart kids. Tight end, we need help in a couple spots. Here's a kid out of Maryland. B and a C+ out of Georgia. Again, just not a whole lot there. Tackle, guard, 2-star, defensive. Let me look at this guard. 6'6", 286, and he's a JUCO kid I really don't want. I'm not going after natural defensive ends. Defensive tackles, we got some bodies here to look at. Kid out of Mississippi. Looks like we got no choice but to go national. C+ on this Alabama kid. Let's just wait. Outside linebacker, kid out of North Carolina. We'll definitely go after Jimmy McCoy. Same with this kid out of Texas. C+. No, I ain't going to go after him. Then it's nothing but 2-star kids. But let's wait because, again, look at our number. We only got 79 points left. Middle linebackers. Kid out of Illinois, South Carolina. Let's look at him. We're going to go after that kid. Kid out of Minnesota. He's smart. California, Texas, Missouri. North Carolina kid. I'll go after him. Maryland, another North Carolina 3-star. A-, we'll go after him. Florida kid, now we're down to the 2-star. 4.65 A+. Yeah, that's not bad at all. So we're going to leave it there. I really don't want to go after any 2-stars unless I absolutely have to. Corner, 6'2", 177 out of North Carolina. Yes, B is good enough. We'll definitely go after him. And here's a kid out of Massachusetts. A-, he's a 5'11". I'm not going to bother. Free safety. We need help here. We need a couple of bodies. We got a kid out of Pennsylvania, Missouri, and here's a kid out of Kentucky. B, that's good enough. He's 6'1", 182, 443. We got 6'3", 214, but this kid isn't smart, is he? Ooh, went up to a B. That's good enough. I'll go after him. Kid out of Texas, 6'2". I really don't want Texas to be a pipeline. That's just a little too far for me, even though they got a lot of bodies. So I may leave that as is for now. Strong safety. As you can tell, we're about to run out of points. We don't need help any as strong safety, so unless we find somebody great. Like this kid out of North Carolina, 6 feet, 214. I would probably go after him, but that may be it. Here's another 3-star kid. This kid would be perfect. 4'6". I'm at the top of his list. A awareness, and he's really tall. So we're down to 40 points. Here's a 1-star kicker. I'm not going to bother. Punter. We got a few of these guys. Kid out of Canada. He's a B. Let's look at this kid. This would be the one I'd probably go after out of Massachusetts. And here's what are all the deal with all these Kentucky kids? Doesn't hurt my feelings. I'll go after him. This kid has terrible accuracy, but he can really boot it. Max Hogan. So we're down to 22 points. Canada and Ohio. So let's use the rest of these points on. We've kind of scouted enough. So I'm going to go after the guys that I really liked out of the bunch. So let's go back through these. A-, 478, a kid out of Indiana. I don't think I'm going to bother. 2-star kid out of Maryland. So none of those athletes really impressed me. There was no halfback or quarterbacks. Halfbacks, the only ones that this kid right here out of Taylor Mill, Kentucky, TJ Brooks, I'm going to put one on him. We'll do the bare minimum. Get one on him. Is there another one on here? C-, C-. That's the one halfback I'll go after. I think I may end up taking one of my halfbacks and move him over to fullback. So none of these guys impressed me at all. I can already tell none of these guys are going to be smart enough for what I want. So wide receiver, we really like this kid, 6'5", 189. I think he'd be great in our program. Let's put a scholarship on him, get the program prestige out of the way. And I don't know what we can back out. It doesn't show what our prestige is it? I don't think we moved up. So let's go back. So that program prestige probably won't help us any. Tight end, we need some help here. B, a C+, and a C. This kid out of Maryland, I'll probably go after. He's got hands, so he's definitely a receiving tight end. Let's go and put a scholarship on him. Tackle, no center either. Defensive end, we didn't decide not to bother there. Defensive tackle, A, C+. Was that the only one I went after? So we'll go after this kid from Mississippi. 4-star kid. Now we're down to 14 points. Outside linebacker, Jimmy McCoy, definitely. We'll just do the bare minimum for now. C, and that was all for the outside linebackers. Middle linebacker, we're down to 13 points, so we got to be careful. Here's a kid out of South Carolina, A+. This kid would be perfect for what we want. We'll do that one. The California A+. Was that the only one we really looked at? We looked at this kid right here, Ronaldo Mason, A+, 4.52. He's a pure middle linebacker for me. Put a scholarship on him. Was that the only one we looked at? Here's another one. Akeem Taylor, 6'3", 230. We'll go after him. Corner, the one that we did like, I'm pretty sure it was this one. Matt O'Neill in North Carolina. Here's a Massachusetts kid, but this kid's much taller. He's faster. He'd be perfect in our program. We'll go after him. Free safety, we looked at this kid right here out of Kentucky. The other two were a little too far off for my liking. But here's a kid out of Florida, 4.48 with a B awareness, or go 4.43 B. We actually need a couple of these guys, so I may put points on a couple of them. Oh, Florida, 4.48 B, 6'3", 214. Let's just go put scholarships on both for now. We actually need a couple. So we're down to 3 points. Let's go strong safety. Well, let's go with the punter instead. With strong safety, we actually didn't really need anybody, but I may go after that one other guy later. So we're going to go after one of these three guys. A kid out of Canada, one out of Massachusetts, and one out of Kentucky. A+ and A- on the kick. A and B. Then you got A and A-. So it's sort of like a pick your poison. Who do you want? We can go ahead and put a scholarship on this kid. So now we're down to 1 point. So when you go back to current targets, you can, I don't know if we can do this. When you're down to 1 point, you probably can't. Yeah, there we go. We was able to squeeze in an extra point. So we're down to 0 points. So that is a quick week one. At least we had enough points to actually put scholarships on a bunch of kids. So let's see what happens. We're going to head in to week 2. And will you look at that? We ended up getting 2 commitments in week 1, which is super rare for me at least. We got the free safety, the 4-star kid out of Kentucky. Looks like we may turn Kentucky to a pipeline. So we got one guy in the fold right there, which is good. And the other one is a middle linebacker, which we needed, Ronaldo Mason. Local product. So we got down to 1. So we're going to go 1 to 2 for middle linebacker. So that's a good start. We are shoring up our defense. That's for sure. So let's go into current targets and see what we're dealing with. So it looks like we went up quite a bit for a few of these guys. Actually, for quite a bit of them. Do we have anybody decide to go? So this Akeem Taylor kid decided to commit to Florida Atlantic. Let's get rid of him. Let's go up to the very top and see what we're dealing with. We got Jimmy McCoy, outside linebacker, and he loves our program prestige. So we must have went up to a 3-star. Otherwise, why would he get excited about a 2-star program prestige? But anyway, that is really good. We'll do like 4 points for now. We'll increase that later. Defensive tackle, Bill Henderson. Okay, he likes our program prestige. That's good. Middle linebacker, Dominic Brown. He didn't like that, so what does he like? Iowa, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia Tech. That could be anything. That could be like coach prestige. Who knows what that could be. So what we're going to do is, let's try coach prestige. That's usually the next one up in terms of popularity. Danny Hood. This is the guy with the best leg. So let's go coach prestige for him for now. Seth Nelson, another free safety. Let's just do coach prestige. Again, I'm not. It could be anything at this point. You're just guessing at pitches by now. Then you go to corner, Matt O'Neill. We can go get coach prestige out of the way. Tight end. We'll just do, make sure I've done that correctly. Yep, coach prestige. Wide receiver, again, I'll just go Coach Prestige for now. If we can get away with Program Prestige, then maybe we can get away with Coach Prestige. And here's a halfback, TJ Brooks, another kid out of Kentucky. Likes our Program Prestige. So we'll go after him. So that's really good. That turned out really well. So we're already got 121 points left, and we can go after some more guys. We got 10 spots left. So when you go back to interested prospects, I don't think not much has changed in terms of who was on this list. But you know what this means. We're in week 2, which means we're going to go look at some of these week 2 prospects that could have been interested before. So let's go to all prospects. Let's start off with athlete. And look at this. 2 4-star kids were upset that we didn't go after them. So let's scout both. So this kid, Trey Burns out of Georgia, we need to start writing these names down. So I'm going to make a list here. T. Burns, athlete. And look at his awareness. A+, 448, 6'2", 248. It's untelling what he can play. But he would definitely fit my program. I will find a spot for him for sure. Let's go to this next guy. 4-star athlete out of Virginia. Look at that. A-, more than enough. We're going to write his name down. Garth Keys. That's a great name. Let's keep going. I'm not going to go any below 3. So here's a 3-star kid out of Michigan. I'm not going to take a chance on him. That's a C+ awareness. So we're just going to bypass that one. If he was local, I would probably take a chance on that one. So here's another 3-star kid out of Tennessee. I want to turn this into a pipeline. And a B awareness. That's good enough. So we're going to go after this kid. Isaac Roach. Good deal. So let's keep going. More 3 stars. And we're down to the 2. So let's look at quarterback. Uh-oh. 4-star quarterback Justin Gates out of Snellville, Georgia. Is he smart? Yes, he is smart. Look at looks like we got a future stud at QB. Pocket passer. Justin Gates. Maybe I can turn him to an All-American down the road. That would be incredible. Okay, next up. Well, again, I'm going to go 3-star, and that is it. But if that's all it takes is to find one, that would be great. So here's another one, the worst 3-star of the bunch. Kid out of South Carolina, Tyler Johnson. C+ on the accuracy. I mean, we'll put his name down just in case. You know, I'm okay with that. So we're going to do T. Johnson. But his pass accuracy isn't the best in the world. Halfback. Let's look at some of these. Here's a kid out of Arizona, A-. New Jersey, A-. Now he's a B. Titus Hunter. So I probably need to write these names down. Jay Horton and Hunter. Now, there are going to be some people out there are going to be upset. I'm going to look at some of these 5-star kids. But if they are interested in me, I'm going to go after them. And if they're smart enough, of course. And we're going to do a halfback T. Hunter. We're going to do that. Next up, here's a 4-star kid out of California. I'm not going to go that far. Let's keep going. Now, you notice why we have so many running backs interested? Here's a kid out of Georgia. I would much rather go after him than some of those other ones. Halfback Adam Brown. But, again, some people may get upset that I'm going after some of these guys. But if they're interested in me, then I don't mind going after them. Here's another 4-star kid. We're about to run out of points. We're already at 70. Kid out of Ohio. We'll just put his name down. Chris Anderson. I'll stay with the 4s, and if I can find somebody that look, I mean, I don't have enough points to go after all these guys. New York, Pennsylvania, 3-star kid out of Texas. We'll just leave it at there. So fullback. So the top fullback in the country is a JUCO kid. He's out of Franklin, Indiana. I'm not a big JUCO guy, and his awareness isn't very good. It may be better if I scouted him, but I'm not going to. Here's a 3-star kid out of Michigan, D-. I'm not going to waste my time on that one. And we're down to the 2 stars. Wide receiver, let's look here. Nobody seems super interested yet. I guess we got too many bodies in the wide receiver room at the moment. Here's a 3-star. Kid out of South Carolina, 5'11", 200, but is he smart enough? No, he's not. So we're going to bypass him. Here's another 3-star kid out of Maryland. C+, I'm not going to bother. And another 3-star. You look at my points I got left, 52. JUCO, we need help here, to be honest. He's out of Maine. Mike Buttles. B, I'll go JUCO. We need a lot of help here, so I don't mind looking at him. So we're going to do M. Buttles. And that's it for those. Tight end, I would like to find somebody interested here. But it's not looking too good, so that needs to be a priority for us in the end season, heading into the following season. So tackle, well, I mean, we can go through these. It always helps to find more bodies up on the line. I think we've already got a couple guys committed. Looks like no tackle seems interested. It doesn't hurt to look, though. You never know. And keep on going. Here's the last 3-star of the bunch. Kid out of Georgia. Look how small he is. I'm not even going to waste my time. He's smart. He looks smart enough. But he weighs like 260 pounds, so there's no point. Let's look at the guards. I would like to find some humongous guards that are also smart. It's not looking good at the moment. Here's a 3-star. 6'3", 304 out of Georgia. And look at that. That would be an ideal fit for us. Danny Cox. We're going to put he's a guard. So D. Cox. So good deal. Would love to have him in the fold. Keep going. We should end up in the 2 stars here. There we go. Now we look at center. We already got one committed, but I wouldn't mind finding another one. Looks like the talent pool in the center position isn't all that hot this year. Defensive end, I'm not going to waste my time. Defensive tackle, we're already going after one stud. If we can find another one, that'd be great. Like, here's a 4-star kid out of Maryland. Maryland, again, I think they're a pipeline of ours. A-, yes, let's go after. Look at 300-pounder. Sure. Defensive tackle, M. Poland. Can never have too many defensive tackles. Let's keep looking. Here's a 3-star kid out of Ohio. 6'3", 272. That's too small, so I'm not going to bother. Here's another kid. JUCO, 6'2", 305 out of Florida. But C+, I don't need him that badly. So let's go look at this 3-star kid. 6'3", 285 out of Ohio. He's smart. We already got 5 guys there, but they're all seniors. So I don't mind scouting this kid. He's a little undersized, but I'm okay with that. And it's hard to find a really smart defensive tackle. So let's go Houston right there. How many points do I got left? I'm down to 28, so I'm doing okay. We're about done with the defensive side of things. Outside linebacker, here's a 4-star kid out of Florida, out of Chattahoochee, Florida. A B, 4'6", I'm fine with that. I wish he was a little bit faster, but being a Duke, I guess we can't be beggars and choosers here. So let's go, what's his name? Nate Cooper. Good deal there. I would love to have him. Already down to the 3 stars. Do we have anybody else? Here's a couple other guys. A Florida kid and an Illinois. Look at how big this kid is. 6'7", 241. And look at that. He is smart. Yes, sir. I want you bad. Jay Ford. That kid could be an absolute stud for me down the road. I'm not going to go after the Indiana kid. Let's look at this one right here. California. Nah, it's too far off. I'm not going to bother. Down to the 2 stars. Let's look at middle linebacker. There's going to be a bunch of these. How many points do I got left? I'm down to 16. I'm down to 16. I may have to wait till week 3 to get some of these guys. Like this kid out of Texas. Let's look at some more. Texas. I'm Mississippi. I may go after that kid. 6'2", 234, A+. Let's just go ahead and do it. That guy could be a future defensive end for me. Oh, that's a middle linebacker. My bad. Let's go MLB. Then his Sterling Lucas. That's a good name. I got to go to other positions. We'll come back to the week 3 for those later on. I want to see if we can find somebody else. Like, here's a kid out of California. Hey, I'm going to wait, though. Let's see if we can find somebody a little closer, a little cheaper. 6 feet, kid out of Virginia. And here's a kid out of Alabama. JUCO, but he would fit perfectly. Man, I hate that he's a JUCO, but I'll go after him because he fits perfectly for what I want in the corner. So what's his name? Caldwell. We're down to 4 points. I'm going to leave it at there. Free safety, already got one committed. So I'm not going to bother there. We're okay at strong safety. Kicker. I know we're going to go after that one punter. And that is it. So we are down to 4 points. Let's go back to middle linebacker. I think that was the position we was wanting to look at. Felt like we didn't have enough time for. Let me just make sure. Kid out of Texas. And again, I'm recruiting 2 positions here, more or less. Technically 3 if you count both defensive end spots. So here's a kid out of Kentucky. Another one. A+. My goodness. And I'm out of points to scout. Dang it. He's too far away. So we got 4 points left. So what we're going to do is go back to current targets. And I'm going to put points on Jimmy McCoy. How about that? So we're down to 0 points. Okay, good deal. So let's head on to week 3. Oh, nice. We got the commitment from the halfback out of Kentucky. That's 2 Kentucky commitments. But he is going to be a good replacement for Boyle. Nice. So we've locked up the halfback spot, so I can do that. So let's look at our current targets. These are the guys we definitely want. Let's look and see if we have anybody that decided to go elsewhere. And that didn't happen. So let's look at Jimmy McCoy. We know what he likes. We just need him to commit. Bill Henderson, the same thing. Let's do 8 for now. And we got a negative 1 for this Brown kid. So I'm going to go ahead and take the scholarship off of him. So we're going to withdraw that offer. Just make it easier on ourselves. Punter. We need to figure out what this kid likes. Let's do playing time for him. Free safety. We can do coaching style. That's fine. Matt O'Neill, the corner. We can do coaching styles. Or let's do location. Tight end out of Maryland. Let's do playing time for him. Wide receiver. Negative pitch. That's just probably not going to work. So we're going to draw that offer. And that is it for that. So I do need to highlight wide receiver. We need to at least get somebody there. So what we're going to do is go to interested prospects, and this thing's going to look a whole lot different. Now look at all these guys that are interested in us. So you start out at athlete. We got Burns, Keys, and Roach. So who made the list? Looks like it was Keys, 4-star kid out of Virginia. You better believe it. We're going to put a scholarship on this kid. So we're going to go Coach Prestige. Okay, quarterback. There he is, Justin Gates. And he likes our program Prestige. He's going to become a Duke Blue Devil. I can't believe it. So we're going to go 8 points there. Halfback, we got a couple of halfbacks here. Kid out of Arizona, arguably like the best halfback in the country. Apparently wants to come. And he likes our program Prestige. Oh my gosh. So, I mean, what do you do here? So here's a few other. Let me just make sure. Adam Brown out of Georgia. Was that another one? Yes, he was. That's another kid. Travis Davis out of Illinois. And we got a Chris Anderson. He was already on this list, if I'm not mistaken. And he was. So who do we go after? Let's think about this for a minute. So halfback, Joe Horton, #1 halfback in the country, is interested, and we got a positive pitch. He looks like a complete stud. I guess we have no choice but to go after him. Let's just go ahead and do it. Let's put 12 points on him. Kid out of New Jersey, 4.22 C-hand. He's pure scat back, but he is as fast as you can find at halfback, especially being a 5-star kid. But a 6.55 squat, I mean, that's like Reggie Bush type stuff right there. Hot dang, man. Then you got a kid out of Georgia, the 4.35, 6.20, 6. I mean, this kid's just a whole lot better. Titus Hunter, Adam Brown. Like, it's not even close. This kid's just such an absolute athlete. Let's just go after him. So, I got 8 scholarships left. So let's go to fullback. I'm not going to go after that coach kid. Wide receiver. Buttles, here's the kid that we went through or looked at in week 2. Program Prestige. Thank the Lord. Let's put a scholarship on him. And we got this Peterson kid. Is this another one? He was not one of them. Oh, he's the one that we took the scholarship off, unfortunately. So looks like Buttles may be our only wide receiver that may commit. Tight end, we couldn't find anybody None of this looked good here, so hopefully we can get this Wade kid. It'd be nice if we can at least get him. Tackle, no. Guard. Did we put down a guard? We put Cox. There he is. Danny Cox. Good deal. He likes a program prestige of all things. That's incredible. We'll definitely go after him. Center, defensive end. We didn't bother. Defensive tackle. We got two guys. Poland and Houston. Are they on the list? There is Poland. Let's look at him. Program prestige. Why not? Let's go after him. Outside linebacker. Cooper and Ford. None of them are on there. Neither one of them made it, but they could make it next go around. So let me look here. Did I miss on anybody? Let me look at this outside linebacker right here. C+. Now we're down to the 2-star kids. I'm not going to bother. So middle linebacker. Middle linebacker, we got Lucas. Is he made it? Yes, there he is. He made the list. We just don't know what he likes, but I'll definitely go after him. A+. He just fits what we want perfectly. Corner. We did not list, yes we did, Caldwell, but he did not make the list, or we did not make his list, I should say. And that is it for all of those. I didn't even write down a free safety, did I? I may have. I know a couple of these free safeties I could go after. We already got one in the fold, one committed, and so we're actually fine a free safety, aren't we? Yeah, we already got 2 committed. We're good there. So I'm not going to bother with free safety. So we can go back to current targets. Do I have any free safeties on here? Yes, we got one. This Nelson kid, I'm going to take the scholarship off of him. I don't think we need him. We already got 2 guys. We're good. So let's go back to interested prospects. Kicker, strong safety. This was the situation like this. Terrence Thornburg, I wouldn't mind. No, this was the kid right here. Aaron Gallagher, 6'3", 195. I want to go after this kid. 1-star kicker, we're not going to bother. We're already going after one punter. We need him to commit. Otherwise, we need one of these other guys to go after. I'm almost willing to go after this kid out of Kentucky. A+ and C- or A and B. I mean, this kid's the better player, but we just don't know what any of them like. So what we're going to do is we'll go after this other guy too. So we're going to go after 2 punters. Hopefully we'll just get one of them. Okay, so we got how many points left? 64 points. What we're going to do, go up to current targets, and we're going to max these things out as best we can. So we're going to look here. If I can get to it. Oh, yeah, so we are okay there. Let's go to Horton. Let's do 24 there. We're going to do 16 here. We're going to do 15 for McCoy. We're going to do 16 there. We're going to do, we're going to leave that one as this until we figure out what he likes. Same for that one. Same, we're going to put 16 points on that kid. We don't know about him yet. Tight end. We don't know about him yet. And we're going to do 16 for him. We maxed out the points there. But what we can do is take the points off here and do 16 there. Now we're down to 3 points. We don't know about him. And Gallagher, I'm going to do 2 points there. And this punter, we're going to put 4 points there. So we've maxed out all of our points. Okay, let's head on to the next week. We may end up getting a whole lot more commitments. So it looks like we ended up getting 2 commitments. A guard, which is great. I wasn't really expecting to get a guard, but we got the kid out of Georgia, and we got a punter. All we needed was just one. So what that means is we can go to current targets, and we can take off the one off that other punter. We don't need him, so we're going to take the scholarship off of him. Now let's look at the rest of our targets. Titus Hunter, negative pitch. So I'm going to withdraw the offer on him. I'm not going to bother. Joe Horton, we got a chance, so we're going to still put 12 on him. Justin Gates, we're going to do 16 there. We're going to do 8 for McCoy. We're going to do 16 for that guy. We're going to do playing time for Keys. Let's see if that works. Then we got playing time. Let's just try that for Lucas. Poland, we are in good shape for him. Let's do coaching style. For the tight end, this wide receiver, we need him to commit badly. Strong safety, let's do playing time until we figure out what he likes, because we are in week 4, I'm pretty sure. And that is it. Do we have anybody that took us off the list, and we did. Here's this O'Neal kid going to Tennessee. So corner, I'd like to find somebody else on the list. That would be great. We need to go after another corner. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to Instant Prospects. Now, as you can see, we probably got a couple new guys on the list, like this Stevenson kid. No, he wasn't one of them. But we're going to go over to corner. And it's slim pickings. Caldwell, the JUCO kid, looks like we may have no choice but to go after him. So let's just go ahead and do that. I know it may sound weird to get JUCO kids to go to Duke, but they seem smart enough to me, so that's fine. So we're going to go after him. And if you go back to the all, we probably have a few guys here that put us back on the list. Like Barnes, Trey Barnes, was he the one out of Georgia? He wasn't one of them. But he likes our, I wonder what happened here. Why didn't I go after him before? He's not on my list. Oh, he's at the very end. Yes, that is him. So he's late to the party. So we're going to go after him. Let's do 16 there. I'm glad I looked that up. Otherwise, we would have missed him. Middle linebacker. Bale, no, he doesn't make the list. Halfback, I think we're good at halfback. Middle linebacker, what might get a couple of these other guys to commit? That'd be great. Kid out of South Carolina, 4.65, but he had the negative pitch. The kid out of Minnesota, we didn't bother. So what we're going to have to do, I'm just going to go back one more time. Halfback, Horton, we're going after him. I'm going to leave that for halfback. Then we're going to go after, look at the wide receivers. We are already going after Buttles, which is good. We got Cox. He committed, which is good. Defensive tackle, it was Poland and Houston. There's Poland. Houston never ended up on the list, so let's go to outside linebacker. We got Cooper and Ford, and there is Ford. So we came back around, and we may have a chance with this kid. Let's go Coach Prestige on him. Next up, we got middle linebacker and Lucas, and we are already going after him. And then that corner, we already decided to go after him. So let's go back to our current targets. How many points we got left? We're down to 17, so it's about next to nothing at this point. Let me look and see if we can max out somebody really quick. Like, we're going to do 15 for him. Let's just keep going. I'm going to just do the minimum there, minimum there. Another defensive tackle. We're doing fine there. Outside linebacker, tight end, and the wide. Let's take 16 off of him. Oh, we still can't take it off. We'll do 16 then. Strong safety, we're fine there. So let's go back into the very top. My preference is to go after guys who can really make an impact. We're talking about skill players and such. Unfortunately, we can't take the points off of him. We're already down to 10. So we have maxed out pretty much everywhere else. We may be able to squeeze in. Nope, we can't even do that. We're down to 10 points. We're going to put those points somewhere on somebody. I can't do it there. I can't do it there, so we may just put these 10 points on somebody that we still don't know what they like. Corner. Like, we could do 4 points there. We'll do 6 there. There we go. And outside linebacker, we'll do 4 points there. And we'll do 4 points on the tight end. So that's it for all the points. And now all we got left is the last week. So let's head into week 5. And there you go. We have locked up our future backfield. Joe Horton, 5-star halfback. Then we got a 4-star Justin Gates. These two guys will probably start next season. Then you got outside linebacker Jimmy McCoy. He finally committed. Marcus Poland, defensive tackle. And we got a tight end. Good deal. Biggest one I want at this point now is that wide receiver. So let's go back to our current target list. Keys is going to Virginia Tech. Ford is going there. And the biggest thing at this point is I want middle linebackers and that wide receiver. So we got that and that. Let's look here. We got an athlete. Let's keep going after the Barnes kid. We're going to do 16 for now. Henderson, yes. I can't have too many defensive tackles. Middle linebacker, we need to get him to commit. We need to do something here. We'll do something like that. Corner. This isn't a big need. I'm going to withdraw that offer. Buttles. We need to max out his points. Strong safety. We really don't need the help here, even though I'd love to have this kid. Let's go coaching style. Let's do 8 for him. Let's go back up to the very top. This Barnes kid, we're going to do that. If we do something like this, we could do 30 if we wanted to. Let's do 30. So we're down to 2 points. We're going to put him on this middle linebacker, Sterling Lucas. So that's it. We have maxed out all of our points. So let's see what happens as we conclude recruiting. And thank the Lord we got the wide receiver to commit. Mike Buttles out of Maine, of all places. And we got a strong safety who will be able to redshirt next year because we already got a couple guys going to be ahead of him. So I think we ended up with an incredible class. So let's go view signings really quick. No athletes. We got a big-time quarterback out of Georgia, 6'1", 235, and Justin Gates. And he's got an arm on him, to say the least, and he's super smart. Elite 11 quarterback. Then you got a halfback, the prize of the class, Joe Horton. I'm going to turn him into an absolute beast. 6'1", 212, and he runs a 4.35. He's really strong, just an incredible, I mean, arguably the best running back in the country. TJ Brooks, 3-star kid out of Kentucky. Again, we've locked up our halfback situation. We're good there for a while, which means I can move that other halfback over to fullback next season. Wide receiver Mike Buttles. He will start day one more than likely. If you're going to be a JUCO player coming in, you better start. Byron Wade, tight end. We needed an extra body here, and he's a receiving tight end. You look here, he's got A- hands, and he runs a 4.65, so that is great to see. Tackle, we got this kid in the regular season, Phillip Warren. Guard, 3-star kid, Danny Cox. We picked up a big kid that's smart. We need a body there. Center out of Tennessee. Good to pick him up. That was another regular season commitment. Defensive tackle, we got one kid, Marcus Poland, 4-star out of Maryland. And you got Jimmy McCoy, outside linebacker, 5'11", 233, runs a 4.52. Very well may start next season. Then you got 2 middle linebackers, Sean Harris and Ronaldo Mason. We probably needed to get a couple more guys, so that may be another priority in next season. Corner, we didn't get anybody, but we didn't technically need anybody there. I would have liked to have one, but we did lock up on free safeties. We needed a couple of guys, and we got some, and then some. You got Joe Allen out of Kentucky, and you got a kid out of Florida, Rob Harper, the kid we picked up in the regular season. You go strong safety. The kid is going to redshirt, but he will definitely be a starter for us somewhere down the road, and Aaron Gallagher. No kicker, but we did get one punter, which is good. So let's go look at the top classes. You got Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Iowa, Texas. It's like a Big 12 run there. You got Tennessee, Auburn. I wonder where we are at. Look at that. We finished with the 17th best class in the country. 1 5-star, 4 4-stars, a bunch of 3-stars. Good deal. That is a good-looking class for our situation. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's move on to position changes. This should be really quick once we get into it. And let's see what we're dealing with. Now, Schneider, we're not going to move any of these guys. We got to cut 4 players. You can tell we got 74 guys. We need to get rid of 4. But you look at Justin Gates, 78 overall. We'll probably redshirt him. Let Schneider do his thing his senior year. That's a perfect setup for season 3 for Gates to be our star for 4 seasons. That's a great situation to be in. So we'll probably get rid of this kid right here. No offense to him. Halfback, Joe Horton, 82 overall, 90 speed, 90 agility, 88. I'm just 65 on the catch, which is great. He's got an 84 carry. He shouldn't jump or fumble a whole lot. 84 break tackle. I mean, this kid is going to bulldoze some people. Awesome to see that. We also picked up another freshman in TJ Brooks, 72 overall. So what we're going to do at the fullback situation, we got a senior and we got this other kid that's not very good. I wanted to move, is it this kid right here, Tim Ball over? That's who I wrote down, right? I didn't write his name down. This is the kid I want to move over to fullback. I think he'll do fine there. It doesn't look like he'll do fine, but that should move up during training. Let's go to wide receiver. Buttles is 72 overall, but at least we got somebody there. This is going to be a big priority for us in the regular season come in the next video. But at least we got somebody to throw in at the moment. That means Talley's going to play some more wide receivers for us next season, it's looking like. So let's look at tight end. Brian Wade, that's a good pickup for us. 74 overall, 76 speed, can catch a little. So we don't have to move anybody around there. So offensive tackle, we need to decide who's going to be our left tackle. We need, we'll probably put Bada there. We're going to have Warren be our starting right. He's a true freshman. He'll be our starting right tackle. Sophomore, junior. Let's do we'll do left tackle here. Okay, then you got guard. We did pick up, if I'm not mistaken, this kid right here, Danny Cox. We got an 84 and a 70. He's going to go up. This kid, so I kind of like everything there. I'm fine with all of that. Then you go center. We got several centers. Very good chance our starting center may be Lacey, but it's going to be Rumsey more than likely, only because of his awareness. We'll probably end up getting rid of this kid right here. One of these two guys. We got too many centers, and most of them are bad. Defensive end. We need to move somebody down. At least I want to. But as of now, we got Nichols and Kitchen. I would prefer to have this kid, who is going to be our best defensive end. Very good chance it's going to be whoever we bring down. Let's put him at right. We're going to put him at right. We're going to put them at left. And what we're going to do, we're going to look at the linebackers here in a minute. Defensive tackle, true freshman, Marcus Poland. Good to see that. Then you go to outside linebackers. Let's see here. McCoy starting outside linebacker, no doubt. Look at these other guys, 6'4", 230. Patrick Bailey, I think this is the one I was wanting to move down. I think that's what we may end up doing. Let's look at the middle linebacker position. I don't think we got anybody strong enough to go down. None of these guys are big enough either, except for Lowe, maybe, but that's not looking good. But looks like we're going to have a true freshman starting a middle linebacker. So I think we're going to end up moving Bailey to defensive end. We're going to do that because there's a very good chance he's going to be our starting left end. So I'm going to put him at left end. We're going to do right end for those two, and we could do a right end there. That's fine. So let's go to cornerback. We didn't pick up anybody here, so there's really nothing we need to change here per se. I don't need to move anybody. I wish if any of these guys could catch, like, for example, Talley's going to play a little more wide receiver for us just because we need help player. Free safety, a senior, and two true freshmen, 74 and 70. We can redshirt at least one of these guys next year. Strong safety. We got good shape here. We picked up this kid, Aaron Gallagher. He'll definitely redshirt. Kickers, junior, sophomore. We don't have to move anybody there. And we did get one punter who's a 74 overall. So he's going to stay put, and we're going to cut a couple of these kickers more than likely. Okay, that was pretty easy on the position changes front. So let's head on to the next part, which is training results. And as you can see here, that fullback Tim Ball moved up. Now he's a 72 overall. So he's going to be more of a valuable fullback for us than he was ever going to be at halfback. Now, one thing that worries me is that kid we moved down to defensive end. I don't see him on here. Let's just see what happens. Let's go to quarterback. Not a whole lot of big moves here. Nothing special to look at. Halfback, Drummer went up a couple. Fullback, Ball, now he's a 72 overall. We can't redshirt him, but he's a better spot there than he was before. Receiver, Wright's going to be our number one guy, it looks like, than Riley. Tight end, not a whole lot of changes there. We're not going to get a whole lot of guys moving around in terms of training just because we didn't put a ton of points in it. Looks like Botto moved up pretty good. Binion done okay there. A bunch of centers done the same thing. Guard. The biggest one is Bailey. He's the breakthrough. He's now at a 72 overall defensive end. So that didn't work out. So it doesn't work out all the time. A lot of times it does, but this one it just done okay, but that's fine. At least we got another body there. We really didn't need him an outside linebacker. Then you got defensive ends. We are at right end. Looks like we're okay there. Defensive tackle, everybody went up just a little. The same across the board. Not a whole lot to see here. A bunch of our kickers went up a little bit. And that is it. So let's move on to cut players. So we have 4 extra players, and we need to get rid of some of them. So let's go to quarterback. We got this junior red shirt. I'm going to get rid of him. We just don't need him. That gets us down to 73. Let's go to kicker. We got a junior, a freshman, and a sophomore. 74, 72, and 70. There's not a big difference between all of them. You go to kick power and accuracy. I mean, I guess Feinberg is our best chance there. We're going to at least get rid of probably this one, Greg Myers. So now we got 2 guys we need to get rid of. So let's go back to quarterback. I may cut another one. I think we got way too many guys here. Like ASAC, he's got 82 speed. We probably need to keep him. We probably need to get rid of Deladon. No offense to him unless he's got an amazing arm. I don't think he does. 89 and 80. That's not bad. But you look at Gates at 93 and 85. That's just what above and beyond everybody else at this point. It's just a lot of quarterbacks. And we got all these other guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of him. That gives us 5 quarterbacks, and we're going to have 4 halfbacks, 3 fullbacks, good shape there, wide receiver. We can't cut anybody here. We don't have enough of them as is, enough good ones at least. You look at the offensive line, a bunch of guards, and we could probably get rid of this kid right here. And that gets us down to where we need. Now, we got a ton of centers too, so what I may end up doing is cut another one. We'll cut that one as well. Okay, that's good. So now we're down to 69 guys. So now let's move on to the end of the offseason. Here we are at the depth chart. I normally don't do anything here. I prefer to make all my adjustments in the preseason. So that's what we're going to do. So let's head on to the end of the offseason and let's look at our roster as a whole. So let's check out our roster and look at the freshmen and see what numbers they picked and so on and so forth. So here's our quarterback situation. Schneider is going to be our starting quarterback next season. We're going to redshirt Gates. That's just a perfect scenario in this case where he can come in next season, and that could be his job for as long as he wants it. And we got some backups behind them as well. Oh, yes, Gates, number 19. That's a good number. I haven't had a quarterback wear 19 in a while, so that's pretty cool to see. Joe Horton is number 29. I almost want to give him like a number 1 or something. I really don't want to fool around with these too much. But we don't have a number 9. We can give him like a number 2. But I'm going to give him 29. I don't mind letting him have that. 29, I'm thinking like Eric Dickerson, if everybody remembers him from back in the day. So we'll leave him at 29. So I'm really not going to fool with the numbers. So it's good to see him on there. He's definitely going to start. Him and Drummer will go back and forth on the reps for that backfield. Then you got the fullbacks. Bowling, I guess he'll be our starter, but I may end up putting Ball in there instead, only because of his speed at 85. That's really going to be helpful. So I may do something like that. We'll see. Wide receiver, we did pick up one kid, and that is Buttles. He is 85. Looks like he'll play a little bit. I'm not going to redshirt him just because he's a junior, unless I feel like I have to. But Wright, Adams, and Riley, then, of course, we're going to put Talley in here. He's going to be in the hunt and in the mix. You look at tight end. But Brian Wade, 88, that's a good number for a tight end. He will definitely play for us this year because we do a lot of 2 tight end stuff. I'd love to get another body on that side, but we don't have enough big guys. Sometimes you can move a really big wide receiver over, but this is going to be a priority for us in the next couple of seasons. You look at our offensive line, 78 and 70. This is a little worrisome. Who's going to be my starting right tackle? It may be the true freshman. You look at guard, 86 and then 72. So our offensive line, it's going to take a while for it to develop. I'm just going to need to bring in some better bodies. You got center. We got 3 guys going for that spot. More than likely will be Rumsey. That way I can redshirt this kid. So that's a good setup right there. Then you got defensive end. I was hoping our best defense, I may start Kitchen at left end, and then we'll put Nichols at the other. We'll see. Unfortunately, Bailey, that didn't work out for us all that well, but at least he's more serviceable now. He'll get more playing time backing up at defensive end than he would at outside linebacker. Defensive tackle, Poland, true freshman. He's probably going to start for us, so at least he'll get some playing time. So we're in decent shape at defensive tackle. This is one kid I probably need to cut later on. Thankfully, we really won't have to. He's a senior. He'll be gone next year. Outside linebacker, we're down to 4 guys. I probably should have switched that to a left outside linebacker. That's no big deal. So who's going to start at left outside linebacker? Probably going to be Thornton, only because of his speed, but look at Taps. He's much smarter. So he may end up being my starter at that end. We'll see. Middle linebacker, we've done a whole lot better job here than what we got last season. True freshman Ronaldo Mason's going to start. Then you look at a corner position. This is our best position on offense or on defense. There's a very good chance we're going to be playing a lot more nickel than 4-3. We'll just see how that goes. But as you can tell, 88, 80, and 78, these guys need to be on the field quite a bit. And I probably may end up putting like Marshall as my number 2 corner. No, I probably put him at my slot. That way he can come off the blitz off the line, maybe that type. Let's see how that goes. Free safety starter going to be C.J. Woodward. More than likely. I mean, we got this true freshman free safety. Ooh, Allen. This is a guy I'm going to be controlling most of the time. I may end up putting him out there. I'm going to be controlling free safety most of the time anyways. So this awareness ain't going to matter a whole lot. That's going to be a tough decision for me. You look at strong safety. I'm not looking at these numbers. I forgot to look. We can go back really quick. I don't care about... we went through that. I don't care about the offensive lineman. Defensive tackle, Poland, 90. Outside linebacker, McCoy is 50. Then your middle linebacker, Ronaldo Mason's 46. We got another freshman, Sean Harris, of 44. Corner, we didn't pick up any of them. Free safety, we picked up 2. 25 for Joe Allen and 22 for Rob Harper. And strong safety, we didn't pick up, but we got the one guy, Aaron Gallagher, number 23. The kicker, we didn't pick up anybody. We did pick up a punter, Danny Hood. So I think we're better than we were last season, especially now that we got some future game changers in Justin Gates and especially Joe Horton. All right, come on back. In our next Dynasty video, we will go through our preseason shenanigans for Season 2. Should be a lot of fun. We'll continue to recruit. We'll set up our schedule, all that good stuff. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.